Hello everyone, back to you in today's second video. We're going to have a quick look at the weather for the next week to 10 days for today's second video. It takes you to the start of September. I think it goes around the 4th of September at day 10. Of course, the GFS will extend out a little bit beyond that as well through the rest of the first week of September. So we just released JMA Friday. That was released a couple of hours ago. And it's your month ahead look ahead, taking us into the second half of September. So it looks, if the JMA and CFS V2 miles are right, it's also going to be a lot of high pressure around through the first half of this September anyway. Plenty of dry and warm weather with, like, the summer really extending into September. A little bit unsure about whether these two season models are going a bit over top with this high pressure, but that's what they're signaling today. Anyway, extension of summer through September, so have a look at that and see what you think. This video, I say, is going to focus on the weather for the next week to 10 days, and then coming up this evening, we're going to have your final ENSO update of the year. So we'll bring you an update of everything that's happening in the Equatorial Pacific in terms of El Nino, La Nina, and all of that kind of thing. That'll be with you this evening. So we're going to begin by having a look at central England temperature. It's still holding up, you know this. It's still holding up at 18 degrees, quite surprisingly, but it's that high. So we're at 18.0 provisional to yesterday, 23rd, an anomaly of 2.1 degrees above average. Now, this is going to move down over the next few days. How much it moves down remains to be seen. I think it's increasingly likely that we're going to keep this above 17 degrees. So we're not going to have an August CET of 18 degrees. It means that the summer 1976, as our hottest summer on record, is safe. But nevertheless, I think we are looking at certainly a top 5, possibly a top 3 hot summer for 2018. And that's despite a relatively cool weather in the coming days. So this will come down, but I think it's probably going to just about hold up above 17.0. So it'll come in somewhere between 17 and 18 degrees, which is a very warm month. Here's the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. We're looking at Reading today. So the red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Reading. You can see at the moment we are cooler than average. We are going to see the temperature lifting up through the second half of the weekend into the early part of next week. Initially, that's associated with a very active area of low pressure. It could bring a lot of wet weather on Sunday down to southern England. So although the upper air temperatures will be lifting up on Sunday, it's actually going to be a very cool and wet day down in the south. Beyond that, we'll turn a bit warmer for a couple of days. Monday we'll see temperatures, bank holiday Monday of course, seeing temperatures around average. I mean, Tuesday could actually be quite warm with temperatures into the mid-20s Celsius. But after that, we have another drop in the temperature there through to the end of the month. However, this warm-up interlude just here from Sunday, from sort of Monday to Tuesday, probably will be enough to ensure that the CET holds above 17 degrees Celsius. Then turn it cooler through to the end of the month, and then we're into the extended range. That's like the first week of September, just now beginning to get to the second week of September. Overall looking a little bit warmer than average. GFS ensembles have trended a bit warmer for this period now through the early part of September. Precipitation-wise, we've got some showers coming up today. They're quite hit and miss, but if you get one, it's likely to be heavy. That precipitation spike just there is the wet weather that could well be on the way for Sunday. And it looks like we have another pretty significant precipitation spike for like Tuesday through to Wednesday next week. That might even be a little bit thundery, some of that rain. After that, through the first week of September, we've got a drying trend. So a drying and warming trend at the moment is in evidence for the first week of September. Temperature anomalies from the 24th of August to the 1st of September are coming out a little bit cooler than average for the UK and for Ireland too. We haven't had that very often this summer, but we're ending the final week of the hot summer of 2018 on a relatively cool note. Precipitation shows a bit of a north-south split, and actually the wettest weather is focused on the south. So England and Wales coming out with the sort of above average precipitation anomalies from the 24th of August to the 1st of September, whereas Scotland and Northern Ireland are coming out a little bit drier than average. Quite unusual developments there. Here's the GFS for tomorrow then. In this rather cool northwesterly wind, will be a drier day though. A little bump of high pressures building through. So if a heavy showers block today, they should diminish really through tomorrow. But on Sunday, we bring a new area of low pressure in from off the Atlantic. Quite a lot of wet weather associated with that. Heavy rain, especially focused on central southern parts of England and Wales. Through the course of sunny afternoon could lead to a notably cold and wet day for the end of August down in the south. Once that gets out of the way on Bank Holiday Monday, we've got this slight little bump of high pressure building across the country, so a better day for Bank Holiday Monday. And then on Tuesday, actually, we turn the wind into the south as this high pressure drifts over to the east. So it starts to bring much warmer air out of France on Tuesday. But it is unstable. We've got an area of low pressure already appearing around Biscay, heading northwards. And by the time we get through to Wednesday, that low pressure is just off the southeastern coast of the UK over northern France. So that's pushing quite warm and humid air northwards out of France Tuesday to Wednesday, but also very unstable air. That could either bring general thundery rain or possibly even thunderstorms from the south. This is a precipitation forecast for 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, looking very wet across parts of England and Wales, and as I say, that might be a little bit thundery as well. So interesting developments there for the south. We've had a very, very poor summer for thunderstorms. One of the reasons it's been such a dry summer is that we haven't had, despite the fact we've had a lot of heat, haven't had the thunderstorms we normally get when the weather is warm in the UK. We haven't had our traditional 3 hot days and a thunderstorm type pattern this summer. There have been thunderstorms, but they've been pretty hit and miss. Most places didn't see much in the way of thundery weather this summer. So maybe we'll just make up for that a little bit through the middle part of next week. We'll have to wait and see. That might be general thundery rain, but it could also be hinting at some thunderstorms. By Thursday next week, that low pressure is getting out of the way, moving into the North Sea and Denmark. Cooler air coming back down from the north again. We saw it on the GFS ensembles. It will be cooling down again through the middle and second half of next week. And then that's a week away, week today, Friday 31st of August, with the ridge building in across England and Wales. Mainly dry to end next week, but probably a little bit on the cool side. Into the start of September and running up to day 10, we find that the GFS starts to inflate this high pressure across the south. So we begin September on a dry and warm note for England and Wales. Does look a little bit cooler and more showery for Scotland and Northern Ireland. That's day 10, Monday the 3rd of August, with high pressure dominating over the south and ridging into central parts of Europe. So looks mainly dry and fine, Matt. A lot of dry weather coming through there, and temperatures I would have thought at least into the mid 20s Celsius, so likely to be very warm. In the more extended range going through the first week of September, we keep a lot of high pressure influences going really. This takes up to the very end of the GFS run, which is Sunday the 9th of September, and high pressure never going too far away. So a lot of dry weather through the first week to 10 days of September, and pretty warm at times too, if that's right. And of course it backs up what we just looked at with JMA Friday as well to some degree. This is the ECMWF. Again, it looks rather mixed over Bank Holiday weekend. This is Bank Holiday Monday, actually, when we're just starting to get a slight transient bump of high pressure building in from the Atlantic. Tuesday through to Wednesday looks relatively warm in the south, but perhaps turning a little bit thundery as well. By Thursday next week, we start to pull down these cooler winds from the north and the northwest again. And then we go up to day 10, inflate the high pressure as we go up to day 10. And that is a chart for day 10, which is Monday the 3rd of September. And high pressure's in charge. We're pulling up what could be a very warm southerly to southeasterly flow there. There's the upper air temperatures. They actually look quite hot. That could get temperatures into the upper 20s Celsius, I think, with the ECMWF there through the early part of September. Possibly you wouldn't totally rule out 30 degrees, 86 Fahrenheit, but it's much harder now when you get to September to get the temperature into the 30s. So I'd suggest sort of mid to upper 20s would be a more would be a more sort of achievable level of temperature. But it certainly looks like a very warm start to September with both the GFS and the ECMWF today. And then finally, we've got the GM, so looking a little bit showery over the bank holiday weekend into the start of next week. That's Wednesday. We'll find a thundery low across the northern parts of France. That's threatening heavy rain or possibly thunderstorms to the south and the southeast. That gets out of the way. And we go into this more flat type pattern for the end of next week. Actually doesn't build in the high pressure as much for the final day of August as the other two are doing. It's this area of low pressure out to west of us that's a little bit stronger, flattening off that ridge that's trying to build to the south and the southeast. Up to day 10, that's how we look. So again, a lot of dry, fine weather for England and Wales. Always a little bit more showery for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Let's just have a look at the upper air temperatures. And they do look pretty warm again here for the opening days of September, especially so down in the south. So I think we are looking at a very warm start to September potentially, with temperatures at least in the mid-20s Celsius, possibly even higher than that. A lot of dry weather as well. In between now and then, it is going to be a bit showery, particularly focusing on wet weather for England and Wales on Sunday, and then again late Tuesday to Wednesday. Some quite wet weather then. But once that's out of the way, it does look as though the trend for the very end of August, the last couple of days, and increasingly into the start of September, is increasingly dry and warm. It does back up to some degree what we discussed in JMA Friday, but bear in mind, we're only reliably going up to kind of 8 to 10 days away with these models, and that only gets us to the 3rd of September. So we've still got the vast majority of September to come here. There's no guarantee that this dry and warmest start to the month will continue. So let's just wait and see where things are going for September over the next week or two. Right, don't forget to check out JMA Friday if you haven't yet done so. And coming up this evening, we've got our ENSO update. Over the weekend, going to be a very busy weekend of updates at Gazzo. It's got the weekend forecast coming up tomorrow. And also look at weather for the next week to 10 days. But the updates tomorrow will begin. It'll all kick off in the morning around 10 a.m. with the third and final seasonal model roundup for the autumn. Autumn 2018 season model roundup, the final one of those coming up tomorrow morning. Then on Sunday, well, it's the autumn forecast. It's the big one, the one we've been building up to over the past 3 months. The autumn forecast will be the first video released on Sunday. And then also, Sunday, we've got the final Gaz Weather Sunday roundup. And then later on, there'll be a little sneak peek for the winter. That will go over our winter update methodology. So every map we're going to talk about in the winter updates, which begin on the 2nd of September, we'll go through individually in that winter sneak peek and tell you what we're going to be looking at for winter updates, so you'll understand the methodology. Probably sneak in a couple of long-range seasonal models for the winter with that one as well. And then finally, Bank Holiday Monday is going to be your historic video. So always at Gazov is on a Bank Holiday Monday, we do a historic weather video. This Bank Holiday Monday, we're going to be going a very, very long way back. We're going back to 1868, 1869, which was an incredible period of weather. Had a very hot summer. We had the warmest winter on record, or certainly one of the warmest winters on record. But there was some cold weather in there as well. And I'll say no more about that. Let you watch the video and see how the story unfolds. So loads going on at the website this weekend. Do keep checking back for more. And that's all for now at 14 minutes. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.